a greenlit 4-part documentary on Dale Earnhardt Sr. That's just happened for Prime Video, and a big-time season for Prime Video in the broadcast booth because Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to help them launch the streamer exclusive NASCAR Cup Series coverage in 2025. The two-time Daytona 500 champion and NASCAR Hall of Famer Dale Earnhardt Jr. joins us here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Dale?
Oh, we're doing great. Hanging out in New York, doing some upfronts. And
okay.
Enjoying the town and talking about NASCAR and Amazon and all the great things coming down the pipe.
All right, explain to me the Amazon upfront. Al Michaels there, right? Bezos is there? Is Bezos there? Who else is there?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen one of them.
You haven't?
No, Fitzpatrick was here. Yeah, that was cool. I got to see, Reese Witherspoon was here. That was really nice.
Okay.
Yeah, seeing her. So it's been a big surprise, but trying to promote our partnership with NASCAR that you mentioned.
Okay.
Will Ferrell was here, which I got to work with him a little bit just for a little tiny quick moment during the Talladega Nights movie.
Yeah. Right.
And so that was cool to talk to him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Will Ferrell was there. Reese Witherspoon's there. I can't believe Al's not there.
Yeah.
Al, he's going to show. He must be around there somewhere.
No, I didn't. He might be. I didn't see him, but one of the cool things that I got to share with Will Ferrell was, so he made Talladega Nights, and all of us in NASCAR were very, very excited about that.
Yeah.
And they came to me and said, "Do you want to watch the full movie for the first time? It's not quite released yet, but you can see it." And we were in Sonoma, California for the race that weekend, and I said, "Yeah, I want to see it. Where do we go see this early run of the movie?" And they took us to Skywalker Ranch, which was great, right? We're at Skywalker Ranch walking around, George Lucas, all that cool stuff. We sit down to watch it in one of those little film rooms, and George Lucas walks in, sits down and watches the whole movie. And Will Ferrell said, "Well, did he laugh?" I said, "Yeah, he laughed. We all laughed. It was a great movie."
Okay. So you're saying you saw a screening of Talladega Nights.
Yes.
The Ballad of Ricky Bobby for the first time on Skywalker Ranch. And George Lucas was in the screening room with you.
He was in there sitting right behind me.
Okay. Wow. Any popcorn? Any red vines? What do we got here?
I think you could have anything you wanted. But we were just thrilled to be able to see the movie, but not knowing we were going to be watching it with Mr. Lucas.
I was about to say, like, did you pop open like an R2D2 and grab some Skittles from inside or something like that? Like, what is this? What's that like, man? Come on.
No, but I'll tell you, like, here we are. I mean, it took me 15 years to be able to go tell Will the story. And
you hadn't told him that?
No, I told him today, like at this upfront.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is his question to you is, did he laugh?
Yes. Yeah, he was glad that he laughed.
That is amazing. Dale Earnhardt Jr. here on the Rich Eisen Show. Where's your Hall of Fame jacket? I would wear that all the time. Where is that right now?
I just saw it. Yeah, I just saw it the other day. I was packing for this trip. It's in my closet. Got one of those like neat little plastic cover things over the shoulders that you have to have for all your sports coats.
Okay.
It's in good shape.
Oh man, I was hoping like you'd stand up like I'm wearing it right now, and you'd show me the crest right there.
Yeah, I should wear it every day.
I would. I'd sleep in it, man. Yeah. I would sleep in it. What was? I haven't spoken to you in forever. What was that moment like for you, Dale, to get that?
Well, it was. I can't imagine. I mean, I'm thinking hard, and I've seen my dad have an incredible career and watched lots of drivers have incredible careers in our sport and do amazing things. And I can't imagine anything being cooler than being inducted into the Hall of Fame of any type. It is basically the best way that you could be sure that you were an asset and that you were appreciated by that industry. In my case, NASCAR. So, we can be selfish and we can go out and perform and have success in our lives, but when you get told that you were an asset, you were critical to the success of an industry, I think that's what going into the Hall of Fame is kind of like. At least it was for me. So I was really thankful for that. I wanted to be a great race car driver, but also wanted to do the right things for the sport and help the sport and continue to help the sport today. So that's kind of what motivates me to continue to broadcast and do anything around our sport. Now, it's easy to get sometimes critical about the industry, but as a broadcaster and someone in journalism, I guess you have a role to be honest and transparent with your viewers. But I really enjoy trying to push the sport forward and trying to get more people to tune in and see what we're doing.
Well, in terms of that, the streaming world awaits. That's why you are in New York for this new front for Amazon and Prime Video. And we're streaming right now on Roku, which people will be watching you do your work through the portal. And we're streaming on Odyssey. I mean, it's a streaming world right now, sir. Yeah. So this is a big step up. And so is, when the NBA tried an in-season tournament, very successful. NASCAR is going to attempt one, it appears. Yeah. And what's your thoughts on the in-season tournament idea, Dale?
All right, so the in-season tournament idea came from Denny Hamlin last year. We have Dirty Mo Media is a media company that I have. We do a lot of podcasts and original content. And Denny Hamlin, one of our current drivers and stars in NASCAR, has a show on our channel. And he came up with the bracket challenge last year. And so we created a bracket challenge in about 3 weeks for fans to fill out a bracket, much like you would do for March Madness. 200,000 people participated, and William Byron, one of our drivers, ended up winning the tournament. And it was just something fun that we did. Denny basically said, NASCAR, if you love this idea, you can have it, take it. And I believe that's what's happened. So NASCAR is going to have their own official in-season tournament that really does remind me a lot of like March Madness and college basketball. And so there'll be 32 drivers going for a $1 million prize over 5 weeks. There'll be 3 seeding races, and that happens on the Amazon portion of the season. And so those 3 seeding races will seed the drivers for the 5-week run to $1 million, and it's all or nothing. There's not a second place prize, third place prize, none of that. So some driver is going to be really motivated to win that. And the question, I guess, for me is, what might they do unique strategy-wise in these races to guarantee that they win that prize? Right. They've got to think differently, right, about how they run this race. So hopefully it makes some unique, fun choices that we get to talk about on the broadcast.
Because you're not just trying to win the race, you're trying to beat someone in
one
particular in the race.
One driver. So if you're one of the drivers, Rich, in the race, every race there'll be a driver that you must beat to continue to move forward in this bracket challenge, right? And obviously, ultimately getting to the final race where it'll be one-on-one for $1 million.
Yeah. Okay. So there's 2 questions I have for you, Dale. If this happened when you were racing, who's the one driver you would want to have been matched up against in the final? Because you just wanted to beat that particular driver.
Oh, man.
For sure, Dale.
I think he can appreciate this. It would definitely be Kyle Busch. Me and Kyle had quite a rivalry going back in the day. And I have to admit, he's one of the best drivers of the sports scene in the last 10, 20 years. So I think if you could be him or Jimmy Johnson, any of the great drivers from my time, my career in the sport, that would be very rewarding.
I bet. Okay, because that just would have given it a little special extra for you. Is what you're saying, Dale.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you want to beat those guys, especially. You get in rivalries out there on the racetrack, and every week, you're thinking about, where's that guy on the racetrack? How's his day going? I hope I finish in front of him. So, man, if you could win $1 million, basically it come down that last race, you and him one-on-one, and you take the money, and he gets nothing. Perfect.
Now, and plus, don't you think, this is my other question, don't you think we now have the perfect plot for a Talladega Nights sequel where it comes down to shake versus bake for the tournament? Dale, don't you think that would be amazing?
Yeah.
Ricky versus Cal for $1 million on the line here, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think that would be pretty incredible. Hopefully, I'm biased, and I think that it will come down to something pretty spectacular. And then also think too, Rich, about how this could move forward. And not only could it become $1 million prize, but maybe it's a lock into the playoffs, an automatic buy in the first round, it could be very lucrative toward the season-ending goal of winning the ultimate championship. That would be really cool, and I think NASCAR would be open to that.
Wouldn't there be also some sort of strategy where teammates could help the one who's trying to win the prize win?
Yeah, but I think I think after the race, though, they would demand a cut of the win. Wouldn't you think so?
Sort of like a caddy, for the Open Championship or something. You get a little cut, right?
If I was one of those drivers going for that $1 million, I'd be doing I'd have all kinds of alliances. I'd be doing everything I could to at least get some of that money in my pocket.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. here, a couple minutes left with the Hall of Famer. Again, check out the exclusive NASCAR Cup Series coverage on Prime Video in 2025 with Dale in the booth. So your 2 cents on the Commanders and their new quarterback, Dale. What do you think here with Jaden Daniels? Again, I know there's supposedly a competition happening here, but what's your 2 cents on what's going on with your team here?
Well, I think every offseason is an opportunity to sort of rebuild your hope and excitement. And man, has there been a lot of change in the organization, not only from the ownership side, but coaches and general managers, and everything about this program for a fan of the Commanders is entirely new and exciting. And there were a lot of free agency moves and signings throughout free agency that gave you the opinion that they felt like they saw how to improve this roster immediately. Mm-hmm. And so they're already sort of, churning away at how do they make things better for the team. It's a process, and it's not going to happen overnight. And that, if they had an 8-8 season, I wouldn't be shocked. But I would be happy with that because that would tell me we're moving in the right direction. Of course, you want to win enough games to get into the playoffs, but we've had a couple of tough years. I mean, it's been decades, right? 1991 was the last Super Bowl, and there's been a lot of things that have changed in the organization over the last several decades that gave you hope. But I think this is the first time in a long time that I feel like there's a real chance that could be a new identity created, a new culture, obviously, and a whole new identity built around this team. And we'll have to see how it plays out.
Do you think they should change the name to something else to keep that identity rolling, Dale?
I think they should change it back to the football team. The Washington football team is a really cool name. Of course, anytime you change the name, and when they changed the name to the football team, we all had the same reaction. Man, this is weird. This is odd. I don't like it. But actually, by the end of the first season as the football team, we were different. It was good. We liked it. I think most people wrap their brains around it. We're like, I kind of like this. I don't really, it set us apart in the whole NFL's industry with that type of a name. And I don't feel that way at the end of season one around the Commanders. Will I in a few years? Maybe it'll sort of become normal and feel normalized to me, but that Washington football team name was kind of cool, and you had a blank slate with jerseys and everything there, and that would be kind of neat, I think, to go back to.
So why did you become a fan of this franchise? Is it because it was in close proximity to your house, or where you grew up, Dale? How'd you get hooked up with them? Well,
in the 80s, I became a fan in 81, 82. And the very first game I watched, they beat Miami in the Super Bowl, and just a fantastic game. Everybody remembers that epic run for Riggins down the sideline to score a touchdown. But there wasn't a team in North Carolina where I grew up, and my mother had moved to Norfolk after my father and her separated. She moved to Norfolk, so I'd go up to Chesapeake Bay and around that area, and there's Washington fans everywhere and the emblem. And so she was buying the jerseys and helmets as a kid. Every Christmas I was expecting a new jersey or a helmet or shoulder pads, the whole kit. And I'd get all that stuff and play in the yard with my buddies. And I just was a fan ever since. So I'm too invested now to change. And no matter what they call the team, I'm going to be a fan from here on out.
You must have fanboyed Gibbs like crazy when he showed up on the circuit, right, Dale? Right?
Yes. I was talking about that like 15 minutes ago.
No kidding.
I remember where I was standing when I first saw him. It was like 1994 in Atlanta, Georgia, last race of the year. The race is over. Everybody's kind of meandering about trying to leave the racetrack, and I see him walking through the garage. I must have been And shoot, just 19, 20 years old. And I literally couldn't, I was speechless. I couldn't even holler out his name. I was like, there he goes. I mean, this guy, as a fan of Washington, this guy was like royalty walking across the garage. I could not believe that he was in our world.
Right.
I couldn't believe it. And, then he would become an incredible owner in NASCAR and a championship winning owner. But that's the guy I remember right there. And when I saw him walking across that garage that day, I felt like a little boy, but I was a little bit older than that. Man, it was an incredible moment. Gives me chills just thinking about it.
I bet. Before I let you go, Dale, what do you want the 4-part documentary that Prime Video just greenlit on your dad to achieve?
Yeah.
What do you want out of this?
One of the things that I worried about, Rich, when my dad passed away was how quickly people might forget his impact on the sport and who he was and his character. To me, obviously, I'm biased. He was larger than life, 10 foot tall and bulletproof. When he walked into a room, it changed the room, and you knew he was there. And I know that he had that impact on a lot of people. And so I hope that the documentary can sort of remind not only people of my generation how important he was to the sport, but maybe also some of our newer fans will learn why we talk about this guy all the time. Because I read about that in social media. There a lot of new fans come in going, I never saw him race. Why do we talk about this guy all the time? Tell me why you feel the way you feel about Dale Earnhardt. So it's a great opportunity because there's, it's almost 25 years since he passed away, and it's a great chance for us to sort of introduce his legacy and impact the sport to some new fans.
Well, I look forward to seeing that. Great chatting with you, Dale. It's been too long. Let me know when you're out here. I'd love to have you in studio, spend more time with you. Congrats on the gig with Amazon. And I look forward to seeing everything. Thanks.
I appreciate you giving me a few minutes today, but good talking to you.
You got it. Enjoy the rest of the new front there in New York City. That's Dale Earnhardt Jr. Check out, again, the NASCAR Cup Series coverage on Prime Video coming up in 2025 right here through the Roku portal on Prime Video. Great chat. Love chatting with him.
Awesome.
Good people.
Good people, for sure.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.